everyone, back tuning into this morning's video. It's been a lively old night trip, had some big thunderstorms and moving up across many parts of England and Wales, now pushing up in towards southern Scotland. Whether we get too much more in way of storms across central and some parts of England, I'm not particularly sure. Actually, we're going to run through the charts and see what's going to happen for the rest of the day. I'm pretty pleased with how things worked out last night. There was definitely an intensification of the storms as we went through the night. It was very well picked out by the NAE model. But last night, when I did last night's video, I said that we had got a front coming in from the west and stalling and possibly produce some really torrential rain across these parts. I mean, it's not showing it quite so much actually this morning in the models, but it's a complicated situation, so we're going to have a look and see what's going on. So let's start off with a radar picture from the UK Met Office. This was at 3:30 this morning. We see that we did have some heavy storms here out to the west and also to the east as we went through the early hours into 4:30, 5 o'clock. Those storms got to really intense there across many parts of southeast England into East Anglia, through the Midlands, stretching back in towards Wales, and very intense storms indeed. Not quite so much in this slot just here to the south through central southern England. Actually, the storms were in an arc really from southwestern England up through Wales, through the Midlands, and then back round in towards the southeast. As we went through to 5:30 and then through to 6 o'clock, those storms started to push northwards then from the Midlands, heading up in towards northern England, and so they've carried on into the afternoon. Another really heavy line of storms pushed into the West Midlands at 7:30 in the morning, with heavy rain going on across much of northern England, stretching down into Lincolnshire, England and the southeast. And then those storms have carried on, pushing north through in towards northern England, getting up in towards southern Scotland actually just at the moment, and we see there's still some really torrential rain up there across southern Scotland, those red and white colours indicating real downpours of rain. Now further south the storms have tended to start easing down a bit across northern England, although we've still got some quite heavy downpours stretching down in towards the Midlands. Actually started pouring with rain where I am. But I think generally the trend through the morning is that these storms are going to slowly but surely lose their intensity a little bit, and they should start to ease down. But there will certainly still be some rumbles of thunder around through the morning, and there could well be some quite heavy bursts of rain as well. I think generally things lose their intensity through the morning. Now this is the facts chart for midnight tonight, and this is showing the problem really. We've got this front here coming across the country, but it is struggling as it's coming up against the high pressure that's sitting over Scandinavia, that's been producing all the heat over the last few days. And really it's how active this front is. It does have the potential to produce a lot more heavy rain and thunderstorms, but if the atmosphere doesn't have the kick to it, if it's lost a lot of its intensity through the storms that have already occurred, then this weather front is not going to be all that active. So let's see what models are predicting. This is the NAE high resolution model from the UK Met Office. You can find this at website Weather Online, and this is the precipitation forecast, rainfall forecast for midday today first of all, and we see that we do have still the risk of some quite heavy rain and thunderstorms there through parts of northern England, stretching down into the Midlands. I think that should be a bit further north. I'm not sure that's quite right already. Right at the start of the run, we've already seen from the radar picture that we have got some storms getting up to southern Scotland, so I'm not really sure whether those areas of rainfall are quite in the right position. As we go through to 6 o'clock in the evening, we see that the thunderstorm risk then is definitely pushing up into central southern parts of Scotland, stretching down in towards northern England, going down into the Midlands. But last night you remember that at this point, 6 o'clock in the evening, there was a huge swathe of rain across much of eastern and central England. Some of the rain was very heavy and torrential. It really isn't showing it to the same extent this morning, the NAE model. And then as we go through to midnight tonight, we start to find these weather systems, these weather front, I should say, on the eastern side, maybe getting a little bit more active across far eastern coastal areas. But again, really, this is toned down quite a lot compared to what the NAE was predicting yesterday. We are not seeing that torrential area of rain and thunderstorms across central and eastern parts of England. And of course, yesterday I did say that where that stall occurs and whether it occurs, highly uncertain sort of situation, whether the atmosphere would have enough energy to it really to produce that sort of copious amounts, those copious amounts of rain that the NAE model was going for last night. I wasn't quite sure about it. So definitely the NAE has toned down the idea quite a bit this morning. But if we have a look at the GFS model, this is the latest from the GFS, we see that for 6 o'clock in the morning, and this of course is gone now, it's doing this video at 10 o'clock, it was forecasting quite a lot of heavy rain and storms here across the eastern parts of the country, producing thunder and lightning as well. As we go through to midday, the GFS model is wanting to tone down those storms quite a lot. We still have some precipitation around, particularly through parts of northern England, North Wales and North Midlands, but certainly toning it down quite a lot through midday. I think that's pretty good. I think we'll see the storms, we're already seeing the storms across northern England easing down quite a bit. So I think that will be a trend through the rest of the morning. And then look what the GFS does through the afternoon. It intensifies those storms, and much further south than the GFS as well, than the NAE I should say as well. It's intensifying them right down into southeastern England, stretching up into the Midlands, into northern England as well. Some really heavy storms coming back through the afternoon into the evening across those northern and eastern parts of the country. And then up to midnight, the storms are taken up to the northeast, so that they're lying on the east coast actually at midnight, still producing a lot of heavy rain. So I think the NAE has toned things down a lot compared to yesterday. The GFS is still going for a re-intensification of the storms through the afternoon into the evening, particularly in a sway from southeastern England, stretching up towards East Anglia, Lincolnshire, the Midlands, and up into northern England as well, central southern parts of Scotland. And then through the course of the later part of the evening and into the night, those storms are taken up to the northeast, so they lie off the east coast by the time we get through to midnight, where they could be merging into longer spells of rain. That's where the stall of the front could be occurring actually along that eastern coast, and as I say, that could be producing some longer spells of rain. Again, these storms, if they do re-intensify this afternoon, they will be producing copious amounts of rain. There's certainly risk of flash flooding. There will be thunder and lightning mixed in as well. But it's a highly uncertain situation, because it just depends how much energy is left in the atmosphere, how much energy last night's big storms, and they were big storms, violent storms, how much energy that's left in the atmosphere for this afternoon. It just depends, and we're going to have to wait and see. Really, it's very much a nowcasting situation. I'll probably update the Storm Watch page again later this afternoon if things start developing again. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching.